Hi friends, it's your art teacher, Miss Barnett, and in this week's lesson called Skin and Bones, we've been talking about two different types of texture. We've talked about actual texture, and actual texture is how something feels when you touch it. It's real. And then we have visual texture in art. And visual of the texture is the way something looks like it would feel. So we could think about if you touched a painting or if you looked at a painting, it might look all kinds of different ways. It might look furry if it's got an animal in it. It might look smooth if there's glass painted on the picture. It could be rough if there's brick or wood. But if we actually touch the painting, you would know that it feels like paint. It doesn't have any of those actual textures. And artists use things like repetition, shading, color, and texture, or and actual texture to create visual texture. So today we're going to be doing some rubbings. It'll be very easy. All you'll need, it's very simple materials. So you're going to want some pieces of paper we're going to do a couple of different rubbings and fill up a couple of papers to make our dinosaur today, because we're going to make a dinosaur out of these rubbings. You'll need some crayons with the paper taken off. And then you'll need another piece of paper to glue your rubbings onto when we cut them into the shape of the dinosaur that we're making. You'll also need materials to rub. So if you're working at home, you're going to try to find things that have actual texture. So if you feel them, they're going to have a feeling to them. They're not going to be smooth. So let's talk about how a dinosaur feels. Dinosaurs look like they feel bumpy or rough or scaly. Sometimes they look like they could be, I don't know. Think of some words that you would use to describe how a dinosaur feels. Maybe coarse, like very rough and coarse. So think about those things. Go look around your environment, your house, wherever you are, and find some of those textures. So things that work really good for that. Brick, wood, like tree bark, leather, let's see, fabrics like tulle. So this is a type of fabric. This feels very rough and coarse. I'm going to try it today. If you're in the, or like even your wooden floors at home. So this has a rough texture to it. It's not smooth, so I'm going to try that too. If you're in the classroom with me, I have texture plates. So these are things you can buy from art supply stores, and they're plastic and very thin, and you can use both sides of them, and they have all kinds of different textures on them. So if you're in the classroom with me, I'll show you how to use these. So we're going to gather your materials and come back, and I'll show you how to make a rubbing with your crayons, and we'll get started. All right, kiddos, I've got my paper in front of me. I've got one. We're going to do a couple of sheets. We'll start with one at a time. I'm going to take my object that I'm going to rub. I'm going to put it under the paper, and then I'm going to grab a crayon with no paper on it. It might be easier for you to stand up to do this so you have your full arm control. We'll hold the object down with one finger and the rest of the paper with the rest of our hand. Hold the crayon in the middle and rub back and forth. We could move it and change colors. We could try a different object. Let's try this tulle, this fabric that I found in the classroom. Lay it up nice and flat. Again, I'm holding, this is big enough where it's under the paper and it's on the sides that I can just hold with one side. Oh yeah, that looks good. Awesome. So we're just going to continue making a couple more of these sheets. I would make like 5 to 6 of these so we have lots of different options. Try repeating the textures with different colors. Try overlapping on top of one another. You'll see me do all that as I continue. Let's go. Okay, kiddos, so I've just finished my rubbings and I looked up a picture of my favorite dinosaur, which is a Stegosaurus. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sketch my Stegosaurus on this black paper. I'm going to make him go horizontal, but you could make yours go vertical, whatever way you feel like your dinosaur will fit best. I'm going to sketch out his silhouette, his shape with my pencil, and then I'm going to come back in and cut out the textures that I think would make up his body. Let's get started. All right, kiddos, so I filled in my silhouettes with my texture rubbings, and now I'm going to use my glue using dot dot, not a lot, starting with the paper furthest to the back and working my way to the front. Let's get started. Okay, kiddos, here's my completed skin and bones dinosaur rubbing project. I hope you have just as much fun creating your silhouette and rubbing of the dinosaur's texture as I did today. I cannot wait to see what kind of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures you make, and I hope you have a great time. Talk to you later, friends. Bye!